Well, thank you once again of being here with me on my podcast, A Legacy of Love, as I continue to share a little bit more about my story. But today, mainly, I want to thank all these people, wonderful people that I've been able to meet in this platform and having them as a guest as they share their own experiences, their own struggles, their own adversities that they had to overcome. I feel very grateful and honored to continue to have all these people reaching out and wanting to share their story of transformation because honestly, it is not about me. It is not only about my story. I think that we all have an opportunity of sharing our own stories and coming together and making my podcast what it's been a blessing, a healing transformation that could only happen with each and one of these people that have come. And obviously, it could only happen if you're willing to open your heart and allow the transformation to occur. And as I mentioned in my book, A Legacy of Love, in my case, it was baby steps. It definitely did not happen overnight. And some of those tools that I found very beneficial were recognizing, first of all, that there was a problem. Second of all, willing to take everything, all the steps, all that hard work, and bringing it together because at the end of the day, we all have different stories and we're in different places in our own lives. Some of us have had very difficult upbringing. Some of us have had easier ones, but it's important to recognize that we're all in different places and it is okay. But we need to make those changes in order for us to continue being our best and very best version. I always come across my little butterflies that I have here that share that way of transformation. It did not happen overnight. It took baby steps, but as I was seeing how my colors were changing and I was feeling so empowered, I started to love that. And since then, I have never wanted to stop because now I see who I am. I see my full potential that I could fly as high as I want, that I could continue reaching all the dreams of my heart and never, never, never giving up. So, I don't know, you might be a believer, you might not. I'm not here to impose, but I'm here to welcome you. And if you've never been there and you might have a bad experience wanting to give the Lord an opportunity, I invite you to do so because my story shares that a legacy of love that I have here, un legado de amor, how I was willing to share how I came to Christ, how I was able to transform my story of pain into blessings. So I want that for you as well. I have my book in both languages, in English and Spanish, and it's available on my website as well as on Amazon. Also, a workbook that I did in both languages that will allow you to find techniques, exercises that you could do by yourself or with someone else to find the way to be your best self. It's not about ignoring the problem. It's about recognizing the problem and taking the steps that you need to take for your own good. And of course, I even came up with a cookbook that you will also be able to find on Amazon. And I must say, my book has been recognized internationally with my in English and also in Spanish. But just recently, I actually was also recognized on several categories with the Book Fest. So I am very grateful, and I will continue sharing little by little about my story, about my personal journey. That was not easy. I went through so many things, and my book could actually tell you a little bit about losing a mother at such a young age, being between life and death several times, losing my first unborn child, never being able to see him, being in bad, unhealthy relationships, and so much more that I was just able to overcome all that. And I must recognize it due to the love that my mother instilled in me at a very young age, and that was seeking always Christ. So I also invite you to give him an opportunity as I continue to share a little bit more about my walking journey and how I am who I am now. So I would love to hear from you as well as for you to follow me here on YouTube with my podcast. I also have my social media on Instagram, author Analee Vizcarra Vinyard, as well as my Facebook, the same way, author Analee Vizcarra Vinyard, that will be of great blessing as I continue unraveling and sharing with you all my story and having these wonderful guests. As I must say, we're already on the 30 something episode, and we're barely starting to share about my story. So I'm very honored and blessed to have you here joining me and also inviting other people to be part of my podcast. With that said, God bless and hope to hear from you very soon. Have a wonderful day and don't ever forget that the changes are always around the corner. We have to just continue pressing on, and God will continue doing the rest. Have a wonderful day, and God bless.